Terror and trade, or water cannot flow together, is repeatedly upheld after conflict between India and Pakistan. Trade, diplomatic exchanges, and even water sharing are suspended following terror attacks linked to Pakistan. Yet when it comes to entertainment, notably cricket matches, a contradictory standard seems to apply. Despite fresh wounds from terror, specifically the Pahalgam attack, the state and the Supreme Court allow matches to proceed, insisting they're just sporting events. Namaskar, this is the Globali, and you are with me, Mousumikalitasachdeva. India-Pakistan cricket matches have deep historical and cultural roots, often symbolizing national pride, rivalry, and even serving as a proxy for diplomatic and political tensions between the two countries. For some, it truly isn't just a match, as millions watch and celebrate, and moments on the field ignite national emotions, celebrations, and of course, the debates. Now, is an India-Pakistan cricket match just a game, or is it really that important? This question becomes pressing when seen alongside Supreme Court decisions prioritizing such matches over urgent matters affecting soldiers' lives and dignity. The social fabric woven by such games raises doubts about national priorities. Is a high-voltage cricket clash more urgent than addressing soldiers' pay, benefits, and welfare in the Supreme Court? Is national entertainment given precedence over the lives of those who sacrifice most for national security and integrity? The Supreme Court of India recently declined to stop the India-Pakistan cricket match, despite urgent pleas highlighting national security and sacrifices of soldiers, while simultaneously adjourning the important non-functional upgradation NFU or NFFU case impacting armed forces personnel, raising critical questions about the state's priorities concerning soldiers' lives and welfare. More than 70 adjournments, and yet the Supreme Court seems to have no empathy, no time to listen to the voice of the armed forces. On September 10 to 13, 2025, a public interest litigation filed by 4 law students sought the cancellation of the India-Pakistan cricket match in Dubai, citing recent Pahalgam terror attacks and concerns about respect for soldiers and victims. The petitioners argued that conducting a sports event with Pakistan immediately after Indian lives were lost to cross-border terrorism undermines national dignity and trivializes the sacrifices made by armed personnel. Despite these arguments, our Chief Justices refused to treat the matter as urgent, stating the match must go on and rejecting the plea for expedited hearing. Adjournment of the NFFU case. In sharp contrast, the Supreme Court on September 13, 2025 chose to adjourn the long-pending NFU case which concerns pay parity and career progression benefits for armed forces to September 17, 2025 for final hearing. I hope the hearing happens. The NFU is crucial because it directly affects the financial security and morale of defense personnel, many of whom have awaited resolution for years, and many have left this world. Adjournments have become routine, signaling delays in addressing foundational issues related to soldiers' well-being and professional dignity. Now, where do soldiers' lives stand? These decisions reveal a stark disparity in the urgency prioritized by the judiciary. Allowing high-profile sports fixtures to continue may be seen as preserving public entertainment and diplomatic status quo at the possible expense of national sentiment tied to military sacrifice. Repeated delays in the NFFU case leave servicemen and women waiting for recognition and fairness, raising uncomfortable questions about administrative and judicial commitment to those who serve in India's most dangerous and demanding roles. We see this juxtaposition promptly rejecting pleas tied to national trauma while continually postponing crucial welfare cases for soldiers, that evokes the pressing query. Does the Indian soldiers' lives and dignity truly command its deserved urgency and respect in the nation's highest courts? Under contradictory standards, post-terror attack, trade and water dialogue stop. The following terrorist attacks, especially ones linked to Pakistan, India halts trade, restricts water diplomacy, and imposes travel or flight bans, citing that normalization is impossible while violence persists. Remember, normalization is impossible while violence persists. But entertainment goes on. Against a backdrop of recent attacks like Pahalgam and Operation Sindoor and the ongoing public sentiment demanding boycott, the cricket fixture is allowed, sending mixed signals. Is sport really just entertainment, detached from the larger reality of conflict and loss? Can we question the logic? If terror can block trade and water, how can entertainment, the most public venue for national emotion, go on as usual? Is it fair to treat sports as insulated from the moral and strategic imperatives of the nation? Why do commercial interest and mass entertainment get a pass while other forms of engagement are cut off in the name of national honor? And the public response. Families of terror victims, many veterans and politicians have called for strict boycotts, questioning the BCCI and cricket sponsors on the morality of revenue flow that could indirectly fuel the same conflict. And many critics argue that normalizing India-Pakistan entertainment while suspending trade or water flows amounts to a double standard, undermining the idea that same things truly cannot flow together, especially terror and joy. If terror and trade can mix or blend, can terror and entertainment coexist? This is the fundamental question many Indians are now asking. And the larger dilemma, the paradox, calls for uncomfortable reflection. Can a sporting event ever match the significance of a soldier's welfare or justice for victims of national trauma? Does the nation truly honor its defenders, or does public spectacle overshadow real sacrifice? Should judicial urgency favor entertainment while adjourning cases core to the dignity and rights of armed forces personnel? A cricket match may unify and excite millions, but the question remains, is it so important, especially when compared to the unanswered calls for justice and recognition for those who stand guard at the nation's borders? However, the nation's sentiments can't be traded, and there we see today the stadium empty, almost empty, unlike the other matches we witnessed, prioritizing the unity and solidarity of Indians. It's time now the respected nation's leaders must understand. For more updates and insights, keep watching the Globali.